present, well, Ms. Sharma's calculus classes and one pre-calculus student now presents the derivative is integral. Yay. I just saw a vector, can't forget the quadrant where I met her. Come in! Ah, Mr. Secant, always a pleasure.
Hi, Yancy. Is your cousin home?
Xavier? Nah, he's still at work.
Seems like every time I come up here, he's at work.
Yes, he does work a lot, doesn't he? You must admit, that's impressive in this job market. Now, what can I do for you?
You can give me the rent for one.
Mr. Secant, you know my brother makes all the money in this house. Why do you think I could give you some?
Wishful thinking, I suppose. Maybe I thought that with all these paintings, you might actually sell some.
Devalue my art by selling it to the highest bidder? Not even when I'm dead. I'm no sellout, Mr. Secant. Now tell me, what do you think of my latest piece?
I don't get it. Then again, I can't tell art from the remains of my lunch. Listen, I gotta go take care of some business. Tell your cousin that rent is due tomorrow, no later.
Will do. Oh, say hello to your coworker for me, Mr. Secant.
Why are your paintings on the walls?
Cousin! I spilled orange juice on my files, so I had to repaint most of them.
And you thought it would be a good idea to try them on the walls of our home.
Exactly. I'm so glad you understand.
Whatever. For once, I'm not going to let your eccentricities bother me.
Who are you and what have you done with my cousin?
I'll tell you what I've done. I found us a derivative.
A derivative? As in a person who funds certain investments?
Certain investments such as real estate. Now we can finally buy the house we've always wanted. You know, the one with the porch that wraps all the way around the house? It's gonna be great.
No wonder you're in an uncharacteristically good mood.
Now, our lives, the quality of our lives are improving. The sky is the limit.
Well, tell me, Xavier, what is the name of this so-called deliverer of homes?
His name is, Leibniz Tangent. I saw his ad in the laundry room window. I called him on the way home and he should be here any minute now.
Who's coming over?
Ah, hello, Miss Anita. Good morning.
Morning. It's 1:30.
And I'm sure someone on the other side of the world is having a very good morning indeed.
Hi, Zanita. What you got there?
Just a box of coupons that I found lying around. I figured you guys could use them better than I could.
Well, I hope one day we won't have to ask for such charity, but any help is appreciated.
Miss Anita, I want you to take a look at my latest painting. I call it The Product of Squares.
That's very nice, Yancy.
It's representative of two people who are unable to convey their feelings properly, and so this line is created between them. It's actually connected to this work that I did last week, Pythagorean Love.
Well, they both look very nice.
Thank you. See, I know my usual formula is to paint signs, but I was inspired by the interactions between you and my
Yancy, I have to talk to you alone.
I'll just take the coupons to the kitchen.
Ow! What was that for?
You know darn well what that was for. I may not be able to create art, but I've been around you long enough to wonder or figure out what it is.
Look, Xavier, you've had a crush on that girl for more than a year now, and it doesn't take an artist to tell that she feels the same way. If you don't want me to tell her, then tell her yourself.
It's not that simple.
Somehow it never is with you.
Who could that be? Oh, you're open! It's Mr. Tangent.
Here? Already?
Darn, I forgot to write this time up. Get your paintings off the walls.
Why?
So we can appear civilized. Oh, Zanita. Zanita, I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to kick you out for a bit. We have a very important meeting and...
That's fine. I wouldn't want to be a burden or anything.
No, it's not like that. It's
All
just...
done with the paintings, Xavier.
Okay. Come in.
Good evening. Is this the Newton household?
Yes, I'm Xavier. I talked to you earlier on the phone.
Ah, and this must be your cousin, Yancy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tangent. And how was your morning this evening?
Excuse me?
How do you do? My name's Anita Hamars.
Strange, Mr. Newton didn't mention a wife.
A wife?
No, I'm nothing like that.
Ah, I see. His housekeeper then.
Housekeeper?
Mrs. Anita is just the next door neighbor. And she was just...
I was just leaving.
Wait, Anita!
Sorry about that, Mr. Tangent.
It's quite all right.
I'm going to go get us some refreshments. Do you prefer water, tea, or root beer?
Tea would be fine, thank you. Deep in it now, Leibniz. Whenever you start a new con, always make sure that the family has the money you want. That's what my brother always said. I'd be lucky to get a couple $1,000s out of this. My brother was always worried about his fellow con artists vexing him. Now he runs a successful shell game in Seattle. I remember the last time we spoke. Leibniz, he said, be careful when you work alone. See, you're smart, but the nature of the business will eventually get to you. And you always know you've gone off the deep end when you start talking to yourself.
I apologize for that, sir.
It's perfectly all right. Your cousin is in the kitchen if you wanted to wait for him before we started.
Nah, we can start without him. Oh, won't you be seated?
I'm going to be frank. As a professional derivative, I get asked to fund investments all the time. Once I was asked to help build a skateboard slope. However, out of the hundreds of calls I get every day, only a few of them actually get funded. So, as you know, the reason I am here is to determine whether or not your investment is worth my funding.
I understand that, sir, and I'm glad that you could take time out of your busy schedule to come and visit us. I've already told you why me and Yancy want the house. Yancy moved in with us when I was very little, and once Mother died, it was just the two of us.
What happened to your father?
He walked out on us before Mother died. That's why I want to be better than him. Him and Mother never left the apartment. Me and Yancy are really deserving of our own house.
No one is disputing that, Mr. Newton. I am simply here to determine if you can live in a house. Do you, for instance, have a source of income?
Yes, sir, I have 2 jobs and I'm due for promotions in both of them.
What about your cousin?
Yancy doesn't work. He doesn't even sell his paintings. But that's okay. Mother's dying wish was that Yancy live a comfortable life.
Refreshments!
Thank you. Mr. Newton, you must understand my position. If you want a house, it's going to be very difficult to fund this investment without even so much as a down payment.
You mean you haven't been told yet?
Told what?
Tell him about Uncle Isaac's inheritance.
Did you say inheritance?
It's not really an inheritance, and I never liked the idea of using that money. We don't know where it came from.
Well, did you ever consider... Well, Mr. Newton, if you want a house, I'm going to need something.
All right, listen, when my father left, he apparently forgot to take a large sum of money that he had kept hidden in his sock drawer. I never used it because I didn't like the idea of using someone else's money.
Well, did you ever consider that perhaps he left it there deliberately so that it might be used as a prime factor in such an investment as this one?
Not really, no.
He never liked Uncle Isaac.
Mr. Newton, I'm trying to help you here, but you need to help yourself.
Okay, how much do you need?
How much do you have?
About $2,749.
And 56 cents.
It will be difficult, but I believe I can do it.
Great, I'll go get it then.
Out of curiosity, Mr. Tangent, why do you need a down payment anyways?
It's the nature of my business. Take people's money and spend it for them.
I see. Well, I'm certainly glad you came out and did this. Most derivatives wouldn't even take our call.
Those big name agencies are far more selective than I am.
Here you are, sir, all $2,749.56.
Thank you. Well, gentlemen, I must be running. I've got another appointment across town in 15 minutes. I'll call you tomorrow to see which house you want to live in.
Well, thank you, sir. It is a pleasure working with you.
The feeling is mutual.
Yes, we are finally gaining momentum. The quality of our life is increasing by 2,749 meters per second.
This calls for a celebration. I'll break out the root beer.
Oh, no! And scene 1.
staring at it's not gonna make it ring.
Couldn't hurt. Hello? Oh, sorry. Wrong number.
Methinks our velocity has decreased somewhat.
Our velocity is fine. It's our speed that's the problem.
Well, that doesn't do much for our position. But let's not blame the acceleration. We're no jerks.
I just don't understand it.
Here we go.
It has literally been 24 hours.
Which means there's no point in worrying about it now after all this time. If he calls, you will answer. That's why you took the day off work, right?
Yeah, I just wish he'd call already, though.
He'll call when he calls. Tell me about the house again.
You've heard the description before.
Well, tell it again.
Well, it's going to be called Roll's house after my grandfather. And it'll have a big wraparound porch just like the old days. The parlor will be just for your painting needs.
Yes.
And the windows will be clear as water. Upstairs, all of the bedrooms will be there. Yours, mine, and one for the guests. Yours is with a balcony. That is one main value. And then mine looks across the street where I can stare out into infinity.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah. Zanita?
Hi, Xavier.
You know, I think I left some tea on the stove.
There is no tea on the stove.
Then I'll put some on.
So, sorry about yesterday.
It's all right. That sounds like a lovely house.
Yeah. If only Mr. Tangent called, we could have it.
Well, are you waiting for Mr. Tangent to call?
Yeah, he hasn't called yet, so all we can do is wait.
I need to tell you something. When I was working at the police station this morning, I looked up the name Leibniz Tangent in the files. And I really don't think he can help you get your house.
Why not? Is his firm in trouble or something?
There is not a firm. Leibniz Tangent's not a derivative. He's a con man.
That's impossible. You're kidding, right?
I wish I were, but
But I called his office. I talked to his secretary.
it was just all an act, I guess.
That's impossible. That is just a theorem.
It's not. I saw his rap sheet for myself. He's wanted in 3 states.
And why were you looking at his records anyways?
Because I got a bad vibe off of that guy. I was worried about him.
Well, you shouldn't. He's gonna call. Don't worry.
Well, why is it so important?
Because I don't have anything left.
What?
I lost both jobs this morning.
I thought you were due for promotion.
Yeah, well, so did I.
I am so sorry. I had no idea.
It's not your fault. Mr. Tangent isn't gonna call, is he?
No, he's not. Have you told Yancy yet?
No. That's the part I'm dreading most. He always seems so upbeat all the time, and I'd hate to think that the first time he frowns, it's because of me.
So sorry.
It's fine.
Well, I guess.
Nuzzle, nuzzle. Nuzzle, nuzzle.
Tears are oh! Oops. You know, I think there's a sign somewhere I can paint.
Yancy, wait! Hold on one second. Hello? Yes? Okay. Yeah, he's here. It's for Yancy.
Good. I was expecting a call. Hello? Do you have any in particular that you like? Okay, I'll bring them over to the gallery. See you Wednesday.
What was that all about?
I'm showing my pictures at the Avant-Garde Gallery next week and painting the signs for it. Should be worth about, say, $3,000.
Holy.
3,000?
Give or take a cent or two. Much more if someone actually buys my paintings.
But I thought you didn't want to be a sellout.
It's not selling out if you need the money. Someone has to earn the rent in this house.
Wait, you knew I lost my jobs?
How?
The same way I knew Mr. Tangent lived in a concave. You never took a day off in your life. I figure you didn't start now.
But if you knew he was a con, then you let me give away Father's money.
The same money you've avoided like the plague because it came from one of the most despicable people on earth? Yes, I did. And what's more, the gallery money will more than pay for our new house. So in the end, this so-called derivative had just about as much value as, as much value as Mr. Seekin here. Know what I mean?
But where are we gonna live while we switch over?
Well, that's a simple fix. Until we actually buy the house, we'll just stay with Miss Anita.
What? And
Hey,